Hey, welcome back to Beard Squid. In this video, we're going to be doing a fraction problem, word problem, that one of my students requested me to do. So let's get straight into this. Mr. Tan spent 1/6 of his income on transport and 2/5 of the remainder on food. He gave $240 more than the amount that he spent on transport to his wife. He had 1/6 of his income left. How much did he spend on transport and food altogether? So let's break this problem down into the different components. We know for transport, okay, he spent 1/6 of his total income. Now his income, let's just say Mr. Tan's income is X. It's an X amount, X dollars. Okay, we don't know how much it is, it's just X. So the transport was 1/6 of his total income. So we know that it's 1/6 of X, which we can call X over 6. So that's the amount that he spent for transport. Then it says food. So on food, so he spent 2/5 of whatever the remainder amount was on food. So let's just find out how much remained. That was his total income. He spent 1/6 of it, which means that he has 5/5 of his income. Okay, so now that means he spent 2/5 of 5/6 of his income. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2/5 times 5 over 6 of X, which will give us 2 times 5 is 10, 10x, and 5 times 6 is 30. So really, that's 1/3 or X over 3 for the amount that he spent on food. So he gave some money to his wife, and it was $240 more, so $240 in addition to the 1/6 that he spent on transport. Finally, he had some savings or some money left over. Okay, so we're just going to call this savings. And he had 1/6 of the amount of his total income left as savings. So the sum of the transport, food, the amount he gave to his wife, and his savings should be the total for the income. So we can say then his total income is equal to the transport plus the food plus whatever he gave to his wife plus his savings. In other words, what we're saying then is X is equal to 1/6 of X plus 1/3 of X plus 240, add that 1/6, and then finally his savings, which is 1/6 of X. So that equation then should be the total amount of income that he has. So let's go ahead and solve that equation. If we look here, we have 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6. So I'm just going to write that as 3 over 6. Okay, we've got 3/6 of X, plus obviously the third plus the 240, and that's equal to his total income. Now, we can write this as a half. So we've got a half X plus a third X plus the $240 is equal to the total income. Now, just to make matters a bit easier here, I'm going to subtract the 240 from the right-hand side and subtract 240 from the left-hand side. That's going to give us X minus 240 is equal to X over 2 plus X over 3. So we're saying 1/3 of the income plus a half of the income is equal to the total income minus $240. So when we're solving questions with fractions with different denominators, we need to find the least common denominator. In this case, it's going to be 6. So we're going to multiply this fraction here by 3 on the top and the bottom, and we'll multiply this fraction here by 2 on the top and the bottom to get equivalent fractions with a denominator of 6. So we end up getting X minus 240 is equal to 3X over 6 plus 2X over 6. Now, since we have the same denominator, we can just add those fractions. So let's give us some space up here, and we'll say X minus 240 is equal to 3X plus 2X is 5X over 6. And now if we multiply the right-hand side and the left-hand side by 6, we can do the following. This 6 is going to cancel out to give us 5X, and then we have 6 multiplied by X minus 240. So we just need to expand this bracket here. 6 times X is 6X, and then 6 times 240 will give us 1,440, which is equal to 5X. So if we minus 6X from both sides, we get minus 6X from the left-hand side, minus 6X from the right-hand side. This cancels out, and we end up getting minus 1,440 is equal to minus X. So to eliminate the minus from both sides, if we divide by -1, divide by -1, the negative is going to cancel out, and we end up getting X is equal to 1,440. So Mr. Tan's total income is 1,440. Now let's use our original equation to see if this actually works. We'll break down each part of the component. We know that his total income is 1,440. At least that's what we worked out. We know that 1/6 of that, so 1,440 divided by 6, plus a third, so 1,440 divided by 3, plus 240, which he gave extra to his wife, of a sixth of 1,440, plus the saving amount, which was 1/6 of his total income. All of that should total to give us 1,440. So let's work it out. 1/6 of 1,440 is 240. A third of the total income is 480, plus 240 is what he gave extra to his wife, plus the transport, which was 240, 1/6 of 1,440, plus his saving amount, which is 240. So let's see, does this actually equal to 1,440? So 240 plus 480 gives us 720, plus another 240 gives us 960, plus 240 gives us 1,200, plus the final 240 gives us $1,440. So since the left hand and the right hand side are equal, that means we've solved the equation correctly. So we can write here then, Mr. Tan has a total income of $1,140. So I hope you enjoyed solving that problem, and if you want more math help, then consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.